Hey everybody, my name is Carmela Berthia. I want to thank you for joining me today in this session. This session is going to be all about building inclusive music programs where every student, regardless of their background or ability, has a genuine opportunity to learn, create, and thrive in music. Sometimes learning music can feel like jumping into a pool for the very first time. Now, some people they float really easily. Other people need support to stay afloat. As a music educator, it is our duty to make sure that everyone who wants to be in the pool gets into the pool and ideally they are able to independently stay afloat. So let's help them float. Here's what we're going to term it as for right now: flexibility, listening, opportunity, accessibility, and trust. Are we providing environments that are flexible to their learning? Are we adapting teaching tools, timing, and everything else to support our learners and what they need? Are we honoring student voices? Are we listening? Are we honoring their voices, their culture, and their lived experiences through the curriculum? Opportunity. Are we ensuring fair access to instruments, to participation, and to creative expression? Accessibility. Are we removing any barriers, physical, cognitive, emotional, from the start? When we plan, are we planning with that in mind? And then trust. Are we building a safe and supportive space where all students can feel capable and valued? Let's float. So, why is it important? Who in your classroom might feel left out by the traditional methods? As a music educator, our job is to make sure that every student feels seen and valued. Sometimes barriers, physical, cognitive, cultural, or socioeconomic, can stand in the way, but with the right strategies, we can ensure that every learner finds a place in music. Okay, so physical diversity. Physical diversity refers to the variety of people's characteristics and abilities such as body size, shape, skin color, age, facial features, and abilities or disabilities. All of those things are physical diversity. We want to make sure that we keep seating open, flexible, and mindful of what's best for learners physically, academically, and musically. And we want to offer assistive technology. Different abilities might call for flexible tools like School, Soundbeam, and adaptive seating also as well. So again, here's some technology that you can take a look at. One powerful tool, of course. We can talk about Soundtrap, BandLab, Sibelius, Figure Notes. Soundtrap and BandLab, they're cloud-based production programs that support collaboration and they can be tailored to a range of accessibility needs. Figure Notes provides a visual, color-based notation system great for students who have reading challenges. And then with Sibelius, did you know did you know that you can use Sibelius for students that have a visual impairment? All you have to do is pair it with a screen reader, right? And then you can also use certain devices for students who are having trouble hearing, like the Soundbrenner Pulse, which is a wearable vibrating metronome, or the SubPack, which is a vest that lets you feel music through vibration. Those are things that can help with those who are deaf or hard of hearing. Okay. We want to make sure that we use technology to empower our students. You can also use adaptive instruments. These will help students with physical or developmental challenges that take full part in, so they can take full part in our music making, right? So we have School, we have stringless smart guitars, we have Mimu gloves, Soundbeam, and Jambox. We're not going to talk about School much because I feel like it's not really available, but you can buy them on eBay, so I'm mentioning them because I do think they're a great tool. And then Jambox, we'll visit that a little bit more later. All right, let's jump into the pool. Let's go. So we have smart guitars. Smart guitars are really awesome, right? Um, they have buttons on them that you can press. Okay. Um, You don't have to have any strings on them. Just by tapping, touching, or sliding on the silicone fretboard, you can create the chords and the individual tones that you need to. And they're great for individuals who have limited hand mobility or dexterity, right? So this one in particular is the Lava Genie that's here, but there are some others. I know for a fact there are others. There was a program that was at APME in when we were in Memphis, and they actually had a different type of stringless smart guitar, which inspired me to add this one for the presentation. So keep those in mind. Also, Mimo gloves. Mimo gloves allow users to control or create music by using hand gestures. So, like they can use a fist, or they can do a wrist thing, or so you can wave, fist, wrist turn, and those things can be mapped to sounds, to loop effects, and to MIDI commands, and that allows the user to express themselves through personalized motion. Personalized motion. Also, Soundbeam. Soundbeam is a touch-free, motion-activated instrument that allows users to translate any body movement, big or small, into sound or music, and that just makes it accessible for students who have limited mobility and dexterity, right? And it uses ultrasonic sensors to be able to do that. It's highly adaptable, suitable for all cognitive and physical abilities. So let's talk more about cognitive abilities right now. Um, Cognitive diversity embraces the way learners think, learn, process information, solve problems, and remember, right? And we have cognitively diverse students all across our classrooms. Some are diagnosed, some are not. Um, Neurodivergent learners thrive with multisensory instruction, visual supports, and any differentiating options that you can have in place. And if you foster a culture where different problem-solving approaches and perspectives are valued, that is great. Because when people think differently and their approaches are valued, it means the world to them. Socioeconomic diversity, right? Not a diversity we talk about often, but it's differences in income, education, occupation, and resources, right? Always assume, don't assume that your students have it. Always assume that they may not. Offer open source tech tools, so nothing that has to be paid for, shared instruments, inclusive performance roles, hold anonymous surveys so that you can find out what students need. Do not share that information with anybody. Do it discreetly, um, you know, all those things. And do not require technology outside the school because they may not have it. I've had students who do not have cell phones. So you don't know where your students are unless you ask or unless they tell you. Cultural diversity. What is it? Cultural diversity means the presence of various languages, ethnicities, religions, values, traditions, and worldviews within a group or setting. It shapes how people communicate, celebrate, and engage with learning. We can integrate music, stories, and materials from students' home cultures into lessons. Our students bring rich traditions that should be celebrated by inviting students song choices and incorporating in global genres as well. And if we establish norms that respect and welcome those multiple cultures, that's amazing. Okay? Like we said, select music, work with local musicians and organizations and families to broaden musical perspectives, and invite students to share their background with you. Assess your program. Who isn't fully participating and why? Who's floating, who's not? Are you helping them float? How can you help them float? Pick one strategy, new tech tool, adapted instrument, student-led lesson to try next week in your class, and collaborate. Input from students is vital, families and colleagues, all of that is vital. Commit to reflection and growth. Real inclusion is an ongoing journey, and I invite you now What's the next change you're inspired to try? Share your takeaway and let's build an inclusive community together. I'm truly grateful for you. Have a great day.